Sadhana means practice. Abhyasa. Practice. Discipline means some form of routine which gives you some benefit. And the benefit is normally delayed. You not feel it immediately, but after some time you feel it. Don't have to be many years later. In fact, the benefits are almost immediate. Starts with the physical body. Your chemistry changes when you perform sadhana. When you perform yoga asanas, the chemistry changes. It's beyond doubt because science has already studied the asanas. How about the pranayama? Yes, the chemistry changes. The chemistry of the body changes. What about meditation? Yes, the chemistry changes. But most happens when, which one? Which triggers the most chemical changes in the body positively? Asana, pranayama, dhyana. Which one? Asanas. Yes, asanas trigger the most changes in the chemistry of the body. But the majority of the world works on what? Meditation. Why? Because lack of understanding. I won't say anything bad. Just they don't understand. Just don't realize, and it's like shortcut, easy. Get up in the morning, close the eyes, okay, done. Very nice. But to get up and do Surya Namaskar in the morning, you know, isn't it? How challenging it is in the beginning. But after 30 years, is it like auto? Just get up only, your body is moving. Just get up only, the body is moving you to place the mat, and then it's just flowing into the asana. That's a beautiful dream. Even after 30 years, you still have to, challenge yourself out of bed and then spread the mat and then convince yourself that it is good. Definitely, it is good based on what chemistry is saying, physical and biology is showing. So what is the discipline for sadhana? Tapas, Swadyaya, Ishwara, Pranidhana. So Patanjali has spoken about Kriya Yoga. Patanjali has spoken about the Kriya that you are practicing. Maybe, most probably not the one that we are doing, but some sort of this practice, basically the outcome of it. So Tapas, Swadyaya, Ishwara, Pranidhana constitutes Kriya Yoga. Is these three terms familiar? Tapas, Swadyaya, Ishwara, Pranidhana. Is it familiar? Little bit. Because it comes from the Yama and Niyama. Remember we have Astanga Yoga. Yama is code. The code which we can live. Astanga Yoga. Asta means 8. Anga means limbs, arms. Yoga means? Yoga means what? Union of body, breath and mind, higher mind, lower mind, inner force, external force, small, finite universe, infinite universe, finite force, infinite force. All of these constitute some form of union between. Is it a union between good and bad? No. It's a union of little realization and highest realization. It's not raga and dvesha. It's not night and day. No, this is a different concept. It's lower to higher. So we must be very clear that it's not about raga and dvesha. It's about lower to higher. From this potential, reaching higher potential. That is yoga. So to reach this potential that is awaiting us, which if we don't use, is a loss of the years of living. That minutes, the seconds that turn into minutes, minutes that turn into hours, hours that turns into days, into weeks, into years, into decades. Just so much of loss. To gain this clarity and understanding, that what would constitute quality living, we practice Astanga Yoga. Otherwise, many years later, we may realize whether the body will not support. Body may struggle so much. But if we rediscover it, we discover it early, then the journey becomes a beautiful journey. Only thing that it takes is doing it every day. The discipline, so Patanjali talks about. The discipline starts with Yama. How are we living with society? What is the quality of our lives right now? How can we establish such a good connection with society, with the world? It requires awareness, correct? We need to be aware of so many things that we may be doing subconsciously or unconsciously. What we are doing consciously, it's okay. You already know, you have taken responsibility. But what about the subconscious and the unconscious traits, characteristics? That one has to be ventilated. First is discipline. Second is why discipline. So why you need discipline? For developing growth here in the context of yoga, for developing the consciousness of samadhi, and for the purpose of thinning out the cause of afflictions. So which is good. What happens is that when this discipline and when we practice Swadyaya, self-awareness, self-study, to be aware of myself in the conscious state, subconscious tendencies, unconscious tendencies, as we are aware, as we restrain those tendencies by surrendering to our higher power, then the afflictions are thinning. Why we need to have these afflictions thinned? Because then you can have santosha, then you can be happy. Otherwise, the fluctuations to happiness does not only disturb you, but disturbs the family, disturbs those people we are working with, and then disturbs the community, and disturbs the nation, and then disturbs the world. See how powerful you are? You can imagine, no? You are very powerful, you can disturb the entire world. Yeah. One Hitler, one Idi Amin, it was enough to destroy. But at the same time, one Gandhi, one Nelson Mandela was also enough to propel that growth factor. So here you see why this discipline is so important, so that we can develop the consciousness of samadhi. Sama means sama, same state of awareness in any of the states. Conscious, subconscious, unconscious. I cannot say that I was not aware. I killed him. You cannot say. You still have to face the music. No excuse. Okay? So like that, this discipline eventually is good news. So we see that, okay, I'm doing this, I'm restraining myself from overeating, I'm restraining myself from oversleeping, then I'm pushing myself to practice yoga asanas, pranayama, and then taking care of my diet, taking care of my behavior, to be aware of, attempting to bring greater harmony, thinking, observing, analyzing, so many things I'm doing about my body. I push it to attain excellence. I don't succumb to the pain, I find solution. I don't worry, I find solution. So all this is what? All this is self-development, isn't it? So this self-development is good, because worries, if you tell me I'm worried about 2019, is not going to solve the problem. You say that I am going to find solution. So all of that, all of this Swadyaya, which I spoke to you just now, and then spending some time connecting with the higher force, in whatever name, form, no form, doesn't matter, but connecting yourself to some form of bhakti. Ishwara Pranidhana is bhakti, some form of bhakti. In whatever ritual or ways, it is alright. Even if you take kavadi and pierce yourself, it is okay. Because Vivekananda said, it is okay to do things to yourself, just don't pierce somebody else. So it's alright if you want to follow that. And then, okay, Tapas. So, what is thinning of the kleshas? Affliction means klesha. What is klesha? Klesha are the pain.
the pains that we endure in our life, those confusions, those agony, misery, these practices will thin the klesha, thin the afflictions, thin, make it so manageable. Though the practices make life manageable. When the afflictions are managed, this beautiful state permeates more. Maybe not all the time, but most of the time. And if it is not there some of the time, you are aware of the potential of achieving it. Be clear with that? Namaskar. Thank you very much.